You ever notice how the people most obsessed with control are always the first to lose it? Yeah, that's where this mess started. An HOA president screaming at me across a property line that's older than she is, threatening to ruin me over a pond my family built before her subdivision even had a name. You can probably guess how well that went for her. Still, when I look back, I gotta laugh, because the best part was I just did exactly what she demanded. She just never figured I'd call her bluff and watch her little kingdom drown in her own arrogance. It started on a Tuesday morning. The mailman hands me one of those fancy cream envelopes that just smells like trouble. Oakwood Preserve Homeowners Association. Gold script, legal as hell. My land sits right above them. 35 acres, been in my family since '52, bought it off my granddad back in '89, long before the HOA was even a thought. I opened the letter and boom, $2, $750 fine for hoarding spring water. They say my retention pond is now some kind of apocalyptic flood risk. Cold legal jargon photos of my pond from a drone. Yeah, a drone flown over my land without a call or knock. That's how I met Lisa Manort, or as the diner crowd called her, Clipboard Karen. You know the type, measuring the height of your grass, policing trash cans, taping up notes about community standards. Now apparently she decided her authority stretched uphill right onto my property. At first I just felt tired. This was a paperwork problem, not a war. So I did what I always do, called the county, got Dale, the water inspector I've known longer than I've owned my truck. He laughed. That pond of yours is grandfathered in 6 ways to Sunday Harlan. Don't lose sleep. I found my original blueprints and inspection reports, scanned them. Wrote a polite email, sent it to the HOA board, thought that had ended. But 2 days later I get a gut punch of a reply. The documents you provided are irrelevant. Our records indicate your operational permit expired in 2015. You are in violation. Expired permit, never heard of it. County never issued those. And their so-called permit number, WRP 201048B, didn't match anything in my records. So I checked. Sure enough, their number was a ghost. I'd kept every paper since the day I dug that pond. They'd made the whole thing up. Suddenly, this wasn't just a mistake, it was a flat-out lie. Right then, my nephew Jesse sends me a Facebook link. Oakwood Preserve's private group is blowing up with dramatic drone footage of my pond, scary music, and comments calling me a menace. It was coordinated. Lisa was painting me as a villain, forging documents, whipping the neighbors into a panic so she could take control. I could see it clear as day. It wasn't about safety or water or rules, it was about power. Now, the Army taught me a few things: never go into a fight without good intel, and always use your enemy's rulebook against them. So I filed a public records request, North Carolina General Statutes, Chapter 132. If their actions impacted me, I had a right to see every report, every email, every vote. Send it certified, return receipt. And then I marched down to the county office with their fake permit in hand. Dale squints, shakes his head, never seen a number like that. We dug through dusty files. No permit, no inspection, nothing. Their document was pure fiction. A week later, the HOA's management company mails me a stack of records, most of it blacked out, redacted like I'm dealing with the CIA. But tucked in there is their fake permit with the name of Bill Patterson, County Engineer, scribbled on the bottom. Only problem, Bill retired 2 years before that permit was supposedly signed. Even better, I find an unredacted email from Lisa. He's not even in the HOA. Let's push hard. That's when the anger turned cold and focused. I called Jesse. He brought his own drone and we mapped the property lines. My pond gate was 15 feet inside my land, nowhere near their jurisdiction. We made a video overlaying the county map. The proof was undeniable. Then Travis, my neighbor's kid studying civil engineering, ran hydrology models and proved that my pond actually reduced flood risk for Oakwood, not the other way around. I gathered blueprints, inspection reports, Travis's charts, Jesse's drone videos, the HOA's own emails, a stack of receipts thick as my arm. 6 weeks in the HOA, sends a courier to my door, final notice, notarized gold seal, the works. Immediate compliance required. Drain retention pond. Remove all barriers. You'll be held liable for any flood. I almost smiled. They'd finally put their illegal demand in writing. Jesse set up a GoPro in the oak tree to catch everything. I called Dale again. If I comply, am I liable? He says, nope. If you follow their written order, the liability's on them. Just document everything. So I typed up my own notice, nailed it to the stake beside the gate, sent copies to everyone. the HOA, the county, my lawyer buddy from the Army. Then with Jesse as my witness, I went down to the pond with my old pipe wrench and opened the gate just 2 inches. A small stream started winding downhill. I let gravity do the work. The forecast was for rain 4 to 6 inches in the coming week. Then the real circus started. The HOA mowed down the native grass buffer between the greenbelt and the storm drain just in time for their spring garden fete held hilariously at the bottom of my runoff channel. They scalped the earth to bare dirt. Jesse caught it all on video. The water ran faster now, no plants to soak it up, mud pooling around the storm drain, which, as I'd already seen, was hopelessly clogged with last year's leaves and trash. Their landscapers spent thousands making the place pretty, but didn't bother cleaning the drain. Then one of their residents, installing a massive pool, breaks a water main. Thousands of gallons of chlorinated water rush downhill, straight into the greenbelt. It's a perfect storm. By Saturday, as the rain pours down, Jesse's drone shows a brown swamp swallowing the whole field water, lapping at the white vinyl fences. Vendor stakes for their party poke out of the mud like little tombstones. I make a fresh cup of coffee, watch from my porch, and smile. The phone rings. It's Lisa. She's shrieking, threatening lawsuits, the sheriff, bankruptcy, you name it. I let her get it all out. Then I tell her, calm as ever, Lisa, I just did what you ordered. You demanded in writing that I open the gate. You got my notice. You have the paper trail. You wanted the water, now you have it. Silence. She hangs up. Next, the county drone flies over, documenting everything. Dale gets Jesse's video, sees it all. Buffer destroyed, culvert clogged, my compliance letter front and center. That Monday, the county slaps the HOA with $85,000 in fines, illegal wetland destruction, stormwater violations, ignoring the flagged retaining wall. The news van rolls in. An old-timer tells the cameras, we warned them for years. This was coming. The HOA Facebook explodes. Frank, the quiet board member, plays Jesse's video at an emergency meeting. 10 minutes of undeniable proof. When it ends, Lisa is suspended. The board votes 3-1, her only ally. The ex-security guy won't even meet her eyes. The fallout is brutal. The HOA's insurance refuses to pay, citing gross negligence. Every homeowner gets slammed with a special assessment. The county fines get paid, but they're bleeding money, settling lawsuits with the families whose houses flooded, fixing the failed retaining wall, rebuilding the greenbelt with real engineers this time. Lisa resigns with a 1-sentence email, moving truck out of the neighborhood by month's end. Criminal investigation for document forgery, still ongoing. But the best twist. The HOA rewrites its rules. No action against any non-member property without a majority. Board vote, a third-party engineering report, and a legal opinion. It's a fence to keep future tyrants like Lisa out, not keep the rest of us in. And Frank, the board guy who played the video, stops by one day, thanks me. Says my little flood forced them to fix what could have killed someone. Shakes my hand, first and last apology I ever got, but all I needed. Now the neighborhood has rain, gardens, real drainage, a community that knows better. My pond's calm again. Sometimes the folks below walk their dogs, glance up at the old man on the hill, and give a little respectful nod. I just nod back. Funny how sometimes all it takes to bring down a bully is to follow their orders to the letter, especially when their orders are dumb enough. So what do you think? Was I right to fight back, or did I go too far? Where's the line between standing up for yourself and letting someone else's bad decisions teach the lesson? Let me know down below, because I guarantee someone's watching and they could use a good story about gravity doing the heavy lifting.